So, let me ask you a question. Have you ever had a series that you wholeheartedly believe would be good from day one? Like from the moment you see it pop up, you have nothing but high hopes for it. And when you see it appear on your screen, you feel nothing but pure, unending, childlike joy that nobody else could describe except you. And that no one you know would have the same appreciation for. In my life, I've been a viewer of many different shows, both old and new. I've seen many different shows come and go, some of which are close to my heart and I hold dearly. Even throughout the modern age, I've been accustomed to new talent and ideas, hungry creators ready to offer their passions and stories. One of these, however, isn't by a new creator, but a veteran who time and time again has shown that he can still manage to put out amazing content even a decade later. That show, as you may have guessed, is Kid Cosmic. To educate the people confused by my description of this creator, this series was created by the one and only Craig McCracken. For the uninitiated, he's the creator of the Powerpuff Girls, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, Wander Over Yonder, and now Kid Cosmic. He's been through 2 decades of making cartoons, through both the good times and the bad. So when this series got announced back in 2021, I had nothing but hope for it. The premise was cool, the characters looked unique, and it was shaping up to be a great series. And I'm sure that after its conclusion, it managed to get as much coverage from the cartoon community as when it came out.
That is a little bit upsetting.
Well, if not me, then who? Jordan Fringe? Nah. So, let's look over the legend of a series that was Kid Cosmic and how it managed to be one of the best series I've seen at the turn of the decade.
So what if the planet killer is actually a literal planet-sized killer of planets? Herodias is nothing to be afraid of. You can do this. We can do this.
Kid Cosmic follows the adventures of our titular main character as he finds several cosmic stones of power, giving the user telekinesis, portals, multiplication, growth, and future vision. But instead of having all that power to himself, he forms a team of unlikely heroes to protect his town from outside forces. With his friends and family by his side, he goes through the series defeating several intergalactic foes who oppose the local heroes, and in turn becoming a better hero in the process. The series stars our main character, the Kid, who in fact doesn't really have an actual name. In fact, he doesn't get mentioned by any actual name for the entirety of the show's 3 seasons. Anyways, at first Kid seems like an annoying main protagonist. You know, hyper, loud, causing nothing but trouble, wanting the glory of being a hero. But that's kind of the point. I mean, he's a kid. But throughout the series, you really get to see him come into his own, honing his telekinesis, assembling the local heroes, and all the while growing in the process. His presence is necessary for the team, since without them they wouldn't be where they are at the series' endpoint. And speaking of the team, let's get to know each of them.
Who wants to go tear it up in Boise?
Starting off, we have Joe, the sort of de facto leader who, I'll be honest, I never really liked at the start of the series, but slowly warmed up to. Always trying to lead the team towards success, but still having a lot left to learn, which is where her arc in the 2nd season takes place. But more on that later. She wields the power to teleport and helps run the Moe's Oasis Cafe.
It's okay, Flo. Besides, we all gotta go sometime. And he don't mean to the bathroom, but I'm chained.
Next up is Papa G. Definitely my favorite character from Kid Cosmic. He acts as Kid's guardian as well as the wisdom and heart of the team. Having the power to make multiple clones of himself, throughout the series he tries his best to offer advice to everybody, whilst not being the moral right 24/7. In fact, there are many moments in the series where he does do the wrong thing and is criticized for it, which I believe adds a bit more realism to the show when these moments do happen. Although something I gotta point out is that Papa G might just have one of the grittiest powers in the series. Apparently the clones he has all have numbers and can feel pain, making for a lot of deaths, which while hilarious is still pretty morbid.
Kid, you okay?
Rosa brings a lot more of that young, chaotic energy that the group has throughout the series. Wielding the growth stone and acting as the team's muscle, she's completely and adorably oblivious to whatever dangers the team comes to contact with, and definitely a lot more enjoyable as the season goes on.
Is that really how my voice sounds? Hey, not bad if I do say so myself.
Last one to mention from the main cast is Tuna Sandwich. Being the last one to be introduced as part of the local heroes, he acts more as the team's sensor for danger, holding the Stone of Cognition and Future Vision. While people who may have not seen the series as a whole might be confused on why a cat is on board as opposed to another human, I feel like it does help round out the team really well, having the most connection to the team with him being found by Kid at such a young age, and giving him love in the darkest period of his life. It makes sense that he would have everyone's back, and I feel like that's more genius than anything.
Got some power and some face, don't know how they work, gonna try and activate them so I can protect Earth from evil space alien things from space.
Remember, Rosa, heroes help, not hurt.
The first season acts as the perfect jumping off point for the series, with every episode showing us the various powers and abilities and expanding the team of local heroes, slowly easing us into the main cast. We see the team go through wins, losses, bonds, lies, and so much more.
I was thinking the local heroes?
That's actually pretty cool.
I love it.
Yay, team!
Lame.
From this day forth, we shall be Kid Cosmic and the local heroes.
Ugh.
The main point for the season is development, moments of seeing the cast come into their own and putting them on track to who they would end up becoming at the end of the series. But while that is the focal point of each season, each one has a character and an arc that it focuses on as well. And for this season, the main focus is on the kid himself. As mentioned before, when he does end up finding the rings, his focus shifts to getting the glory that comes with being a superhero. However, he slowly but surely learns the lessons that don't come from his comics and the heroes he idolizes, but the teachings of the people around him, ending the season with a final act of not bravery, but wisdom, encompassing the lesson his elder taught him: heroes help, not hurt.
Real heroes don't just go around looking cool and beating up people,
Aliens?
just because they're different and they don't understand them. Being a hero isn't about forming a fist. It's about extending a hand. Heroes help, not hurt.
The overall design of the series is really interesting, looking like an evolution of McCracken's previous signature shows, with more of a pencil sketch look in the line art, giving a more comic book or Sunday comics feel to the characters. These along with the colors give the show a really unique look that I'm a big fan of. A big highlight of the season, for me at least, would definitely be Earth Force Enforcement Force. Being at the tail end of the season, it was nice to see what was essentially a joke episode in the season, introducing a Power Rangers / Voltron parody utilizing the powers of the stones to pretty much show off. Not much more to say about this episode except it was just dumb fun.
Sorry about your losses on the battlefield, Golden Swarm.
Losses? Those were only clones, you clown.
At the end of the day, Season 1 of Kid Cosmic is a fun watch. Throughout both my times going through it, it remained an energy-filled, greatly animated, and wonderfully told prologue to a series that would reach much higher highs with its second season and beyond. And yes, I said prologue. This is only the beginning. Out of all the seasons of Kid Cosmic, Season 2 remains my all-time favorite, taking the series to new heights. After a sudden cliffhanger ending from the first season, our local heroes and their home get transported into the far reaches of space, where they're tasked with defeating Herodias, a Galactus-type destructive force that destroys planets while also being a planet itself. Where the previous season focused on Kid and him coming to terms with being a true hero, Season 2 switches gears into becoming one focused on the de facto leader of the local heroes, Jo. Every episode showing her journey of overcoming the difficulties that come from the dire situation at hand. Think about it for a second. You've been transported to the middle of nowhere in the cosmos where you're tasked with defeating the biggest threat known to the universe, and you aren't even equipped to do so. Realistically, anyone would crack under the pressure and have no clue what to do or how to do it. So the season takes the more realistic approach, which I really do like a lot. I gotta say, the first season may shine in character development, but the second season's where the world building truly lies. It takes advantage of the main setting of the series, Mo's Oasis, being transported with our main cast, and transforms it into a galaxy-wide truck stop. In fact, the whole galaxy just seems like a hell of a fun place to explore. A variety of planets with different monster and alien designs that have them stand out and give an out-of-this-world feel. Sort of touches on that Wonder Over Yonder vibe in a way. Out of the total 8 episodes for this season, my personal favorite has to be the Heist of Fire and Ice. The animation's at its peak here, constantly moving, shifting directions, smoothly switching from one character action to the next, and even establishes what kind of a threat the cast's dealing with. Just simply brilliant.
That's Herodias?
Yeah, I'm guessing you're feeling pretty hopeless right now. I mean, how could some scrawny teenage girl from Earth defeat that awesome power?
Even if Herodias is considered the series' end goal threat, we need to have one with just a little more personality. Introducing Phantos the Amasser.
Break up the 5 villain.
Now, when you look at his design without seeing the series, you'd paint Phantos as some big, tank-like villain who isn't afraid to launch his power towards all who oppose him. But what if I told you that he was both that and not that at the same time? Let me explain. Phantos is a very needed aspect that the next 2 seasons benefited from greatly. He's pretty much a man-child who wants nothing but to watch Herodias destroy every planet in its way, and collect all the stones that appear as a result, but is also a very real threat for our cast to deal with, not too afraid to fight our heroes to get what he wants. In a sea of stories where the villain is usually redeemed after understanding their pain, it really is refreshing having a villain who's bad just to be bad, and Phantos writes the perfect line of goofy and threatening at the same time.
Each stone the final remnant of a world that has been ripped apart by the power of Herodias!
Sir, if you...
Herodias!
To cap off the second season of Kid Cosmic, it has got to be my personal favorite out of the 3, showing that the series simply has more under the hood than the first season ever did. We get to experience interesting as heck world building, realistic humanity in these characters, and a thread that could do real damage, even ending it all on a cliffhanger with a mystery of what's to come, coming full circle with the 3rd season. With this, we reach the penultimate season, viewers. So far we've seen the crew discover their powers, learn to become the heroes they were meant to be, and the 3rd season really does tie the story together, albeit with a few bumps along the way. As much as I adore Kid Cosmic, its 3rd season doesn't open up as well as I'd personally like it to. Like, they start out from the end of the season where they become superheroes, actual ones, but then they slowly realize it might be too convenient, and after all that they break out just for the actual story to start off. I can see why people enjoy this part of the show, but personally it just kind of derails the season for a part of the show that's supposed to conclude it.
Together we are the Global Heroes!
The 3rd season has a main goal of ending the story it started back all the way in season 1, with the team stranded in the deep reaches of space after escaping the fantasy realm, having the goal of still saving the universe from Herodias. Whereas the first 2 seasons have a character that it most likely focuses on while also giving some focus to the supporting cast, for the final season, it doesn't really seem that way. Don't get me wrong, I still enjoy it, but when compared to the more grander scales of seasons 1 and 2, the 3rd season doesn't have those same signs. Despite everything that I mentioned, I do majorly also enjoy the final few episodes that the season has to offer. We reach a point where our heroes are left with no plan, no powers, and no hope. All that's left to do is try and rebuild and stay alive. Sure, there are some of the cast that still have the will to fight, but with no powers there's not much to do. However, with the help of Rosa and the previously saved aliens, they get the power and the spark to fight again. Stuff like this is what makes me not completely call the season bad, because there is amazing stuff here, but it's just few and far between with the fantasy world parts.
See? Just takes a little spark.
With this being the series' end, it just had to go out with a bang, grabbing the audience by the heartstrings and giving them a satisfying conclusion. And in this reviewer's opinion, it doesn't disappoint, with Kid Cosmic and the Planet Killer being my absolute favorite, which by the scale alone is worth a mention even if it wasn't my favorite. The episode has such a feeling of finality, the team having one last brush with the danger that comes with being heroes, and that final scene still makes my heart ache even on my 3rd rewatch, Papa G's sacrifice. He gives an empowering speech of how he's lived a long life and how, even if it means him essentially dying, it would be worth it if the people he cares about are safe. And as the planet crumbles and the music swells, it flashes to the next scene.
You find it?
I knew I couldn't lose it. It was stuck in my beard.
Did I get disappointed that it was a fake-out death? A little bit, but I honestly don't mind. The episode in its entirety was nothing short of amazing, and for the finale of the series, I wouldn't have it any other way. So how do we end this?
We shall be Kid Cosmic and the local heroes.
It's been a rough few years. Pandemics, politics, illnesses, stresses beyond belief. But I found that even in the darkest of times, when things seem the most hopeless, you can find something to comfort you, something to take you back to that childlike innocence of watching characters go on a fun adventure, the energy of eagerly waiting for the next episode. That's what Kid Cosmic means to me. In a world of series that seem to go over my head and never interest me from the start, Craig McCracken's creation came in with 3 stellar seasons and made an experience like no other, and that's something that I'll be grateful for, 100%.
Track 42. People of Earth, found some power in some space, don't know how they work, gonna try and activate them so I can protect Earth from evil space alien things from space. Okay, let's do this.
It's a pleasure to see so many pleasant faces.
Hey, still ain't sleeping at night. What am I gonna do? I bet that if I could sleep though, I'd probably dream about you.
You think there's
just one bad guy. Those stones possess powers that every evil being in the universe would kill for.
But I'ma win it all, independent of all the cynical critics. If you rip it,
And he's evil.
No, evil is just a cry from a heart that's hurt.
I'm mature now, got the cure now, burn down every bridge. Get this, it turns out they should burn hers down long before I figured ours won't work out. So I'm sitting in this herb cloud. As it turns round, my mind spins. What the fuck have I been? Been lost in an island of self-pity, it's quite grim.
I'm losing her, Papa G. I'm losing my sweet, caring, kind little girl. I don't know who she is becoming.
Yeah, that happens with kiddos, but take it from an old papa like me. They do come back to you. They figure it out in time.
Feel like I could kill just to get some space. So I'm gonna build me a better place. Yeah, I'm gonna build me a better place. Building a building, I'll be feeling much better. I just want something real, something realer than ever. Yeah. So I'm gonna build me a better place. Yes.
These rare and precious cosmic stones were created by the greatest evil force in all the universe. Herodias, the planet killer.
Sing to the beat, sling cocaine for your peace, beat me, cause it's good for the heart. They got fiends in the streets and the cars, fiend for the beats, cause it's hard to remember who you are when you gone. Hollywood, that my ship don't sink tonight. Can I follow my dreams and hollow the swallow with strings to build tomorrow's regime? The sorrow of living between the hype and flashy lights passing before my sight. I'll never know everlasting life.
Yeah, Kid is the spirit of the team.
No kid. No powers.
Rosa's right. If it wasn't for the kid, the team wouldn't have our rings. Heck, there wouldn't even be a team.
He brought us all together.
To Kid.
To kid.
To Kid!